Welcome to City Insider. In today's video we'll start with Man City duo missed training ahead of Arsenal clash. England duo John Stones and Kyle Walker were not involved in Manchester City training on Thursday, as Pep Guardiola's side prepare for Sunday's big title tussle against Arsenal. It's yet another blow for Guardiola, as reports emerge that two other players have been suffering with fractures. Neither Stones or Walker were pictured with the rest of their City teammates on Thursday afternoon, with the pair now at risk of missing the game against Arsenal. Walker was hauled off early doors during England's friendly with Brazil on Saturday evening, before Stones suffered a similar fate against Belgium on Tuesday. The two were said to be undergoing scans to figure out the severity of their injuries earlier this week, but the early signs, at least from a City point of view, don't look great. It's presented Guardiola with a headache ahead of Sunday's vital game against the Gunners, as two more City stars are also believed to be carrying knocks. As per the Daily Mail, both Ruben Dias and Phil Foden have suffered fractures in their hands, but are currently choosing to play through the pain instead. Eagle-eyed supporters had noticed the duo were sporting hand wraps in recent fixtures, with the report stating Dias' issue stemmed from City's FA Cup fourth-round win over Tottenham Hotspur back in February, while Foden picked up a similar injury a week later. Despite what is likely to have been considerable pain for the two, neither have missed any football because of it, with Foden and Dias involved in every matchday squad since. It isn't all doom and gloom for Guardiola though, as 5 players who were thought to be at risk of missing the Arsenal game were involved in Thursday's training session. Much like Walker and Stones, Matheus Nunes and Manuel Akanji were forced to head home from international duty ahead of schedule, but are now believed to be back fit and firing. This is also the case for Jack Grealish and Kevin De Bruyne, who sat out the March international break because of recent injury worries for the two. Grealish hasn't been involved for City since late February, when the forward was substituted during the first half of City's FA Cup clash against Luton Town. Whereas De Bruyne, who has been an ever-present in Guardiola's side of late, withdrew from the Belgium squad because of a minor groin concern. Ederson is the 5th and final City ace that has returned to training, with the Brazilian having been out of action since the treble winners' trip to Anfield in mid-March. The shot-stopper was substituted during the second half against Liverpool, but he could return to the starting 11 and take back over from astute deputy Stefan Ortega for the Blues' crucial clash against Arsenal on Sunday. Arsenal youth talent signs contract after Man City Chelsea interest. Ethan Nwaneri has signed his first professional contract with Arsenal. The midfielder shot to fame last season when he became the youngest player in Premier League history, making his debut at just 15 years and 181 days old. Nwaneri has long been tipped for the top, and he has been courted by both Chelsea and Manchester City. The 17-year-old, however, signed scholarship terms with Arsenal last summer, and he has now put pen to paper on his first ever professional contract. The Gunners fought hard to fend off interest from Chelsea and City, mapping out Nwaneri's future at the club and offering him lucrative terms for a player his age. Arsenal Academy manager Per Mertesacker said, "We are extremely proud of Ethan and his journey, from pre-academy to Hale End, then a seamless transition to Sober Realty Training Centre, and then making his first team debut. Ethan's journey now continues, and we will all be there alongside him to support his development. Ethan has a strong ability to master the ball and dominate possession. This is what we are all about at Arsenal Football Club. He is someone that will thrive on and off the pitch. He is a strong young gunner, and we look forward to working with him during his ongoing development in the years to come." Nwaneri was able to sign his first professional contract after turning 17 last week. He follows in the footsteps of fellow Academy graduate, Miles Lewis-Skelly, who signed pro terms earlier this season. Nwaneri has predominantly been playing for Arsenal's youth teams this season, scoring 14 goals in as many appearances. Truth about Erling Haaland's dad's trip to Barcelona. An update has emerged amid rumours that Barcelona are interested in signing Manchester City striker Erling Haaland. Haaland signed for City in 2022 after the club met the £51 million release clause in his contract at Borussia Dortmund. The Norwegian has since gone on to score 81 goals in 87 games and was key to the club winning a historic treble in his first season at the Etihad Stadium. Reports in Spain recently claimed, though, that Haaland could be a target for Barcelona in the future. Mundo Deportivo has reported that Haaland's agent is currently in Spain, which is leading to rumours that a move to the Camp Nou could be on the cards. It has been claimed that Barca are planning to try and sign Haaland in 2025, which would coincide with when Robert Lewandowski could leave the La Liga giants. The article has also suggested that Haaland's agent has met with Barcelona sporting director Deco in recent days. The same outlet further reported about Erling's dad and former City midfielder Alf Inge being spotted in Barcelona on Wednesday. And Spanish football expert Guillem Balagué has now provided an update on the reports on Haaland's future. Balagué explained that Haaland's father is in Barcelona is due to the club's women's team being in Champions League action this week. Erling Haaland's father is in Barcelona because a co-worker has a daughter who plays for Bruyne, which is playing in the Champions League quarter-finals against Barcelona tonight, wrote Balagué on X, formerly known as Twitter. Haaland's current deal with City runs until 2027 after he signed a 5-year contract when he first arrived at the Etihad Stadium. The striker and manager Pep Guardiola are not likely to be giving the rumours much attention ahead of a busy run-in. Arsenal's Mikel Arteta warned of error that may spell trouble versus Man City. Former Arsenal defender Lee Dixon has warned Mikel Arteta to not overthink what Pep Guardiola is doing for Manchester City and instead focus on his team's strengths. Dixon told Bet Victor it would be a mistake for Arteta to focus too much of his time on what the hosts will do this Sunday. It is a possibility that Arsenal will go to the Etihad and look to play on the break, the former England international explained. Mikel Arteta will be scrutinising last year's performance when they got beaten 4-1 and he'll be rethinking his game plan. He may look at his team and think they've developed and are better than they were last year so they can afford to play on the front foot. There will be mind games going on between Arteta and Pep Guardiola. Sometimes Pep makes a change and everyone says that he's overthinking, and sometimes that is true, but the majority of the time he is so clever when it comes to just tweaking something that doesn't seem that different and you can't work it out. Arteta's biggest headache will be just trying to stay in the moment with his team, rather than trying to overthink what Pep is doing. If you do that, you'll end up in trouble. He'll see what is happening once the game starts. City will set up as if they're just going to play their normal game, and Arsenal have developed enough to adapt to any changes throughout the 90 minutes. And that's the final content of today's video. Like, subscribe to support City Insider.